Hello, I just wanted to show you some things that I've done in the past and things that I've been working on. We'll start with these. These are actually made out of, they're going to be bookmarks. They're made out of those air pockets that come as packaging, you know, with shipping stuff that you get in the mail. And what I did was I took them, and I love doing this. It's so much fun, but I haven't done it in a long time. These are from about a year ago. I took these air pockets and I would cut them open, you know, and get all the air out. And then I squeezed paint in there and smushed it all around and opened them up and let them dry. And then I folded them in half to iron them. And when I iron them, they get this wonderful texture. It's just great. They're just so pretty. The paint is on the outside, so this texture is on the outside, and you can see here where I folded it in half. The paint is on both sides of the outside. I hope that makes sense. And then after I ironed them in between some parchment paper so that I protected my iron and my ironing board, I just sliced them down the middle for this style, for the bookmarks. And I just kind of saw which ones I liked the shape of best to decide whether I wanted to do the bookmarks or these little booklets, because these are more rectangular. You know, they ended up a better shape, whereas these ones were kind of wonky. You can see that wouldn't have made a very good little booklet. And I also made these tags out of some of them, which I just cut in half the other way. Like, let me get two that go together so I can show you. Yeah, these ones were together. So I cut them in half this way and then just cut the corners off, and then I decorated them. But anyway, so I've got the bookmarks. I will end up adding the tags, you know, the strands of yarn to the top of these, and probably crocheting on the edge because I just love to add yarn to stuff. So I've already gone through and done some of the stamping for these just to kickstart that decorating. Different things. They were so much fun to make, and I just think they're so funky. You know, I love, that says Speak Life, love is spoken here. I just love all the fun, funky things that I can make with junk journaling things, you know. I mean, these can definitely go in a journal, but they don't have to. These can just be used for all different kinds of things. You know, just bookmarks. So that's those. And then these booklets, like I said, I made these out of, I did not cut these ones in half. I stapled these together. I got this colored paper and just kind of ripped it. Just a few sheets, not very much. And then I stapled that booklet closed, and I just crocheted chain stitches on either end to kind of finish that off. And then I added beads. So these are all set up the same way, just different colors. So this one says Live. It's got the yellow and the orange in there. The backs are decorated too. Joy. Green and blue. Be Free. And these have little butterfly charms on them too. Purple and blue. All Fly Away. And these are just little kid charms that my daughter had that she didn't really want. And I was like, well, not charms, but beads. And I'm like, okay, I'll use them for something. I think they, you know, I don't really mind if something is childish if I think it looks really pretty and it goes with what I've done. You Are Loved. It's a heart. It's got these pretty daisies, and I just think these are so fun. And those can be tucked in a journal or whatever. These tags, I love these tags. These are made, like I said, those cut in half, and then they have flashcards on the back that I just trimmed down to kind of match the size. But they're old flashcards. I got a big old bag of these at Goodwill for like $1, and I think they even had the holes punched in them. Some of them did. So I just put them with the blank side out, you know, to make notes, and there they are. Smile. And like I said, they all have the flashcards. So they're just pretty tags to stick in a tuck spot or whatever. I just thought those were so pretty. They were so fun to make, and to choose all the yarns. A lot of them I crocheted. Some of them I just stitched down. I'll show you some of those. Most of them are crocheted. I really enjoy that. Here's one that's just stitched. Just really simple running stitch. These are just such fun. I enjoy just looking at them. Haven't even put them in anything yet. They've just been sitting around. I started junk journaling last year, and then, well, I had a little baby. My son is 16 months old now, and I really just haven't had time for it. So I'm trying to pull everything out and get going again. This is something I really like to do with my big yarn stash. I have tons of yarn. I can't even tell you guys how much yarn I have. But sometimes I like to just pull some out and put some on cards so that I can, you know, have a nice variety to work with. And this is what I used for all those things that I just showed you. Just a good variety of colors and textures to use with my stuff. This is what I've been working on today. I found this at a Goodwill for only, I think, 75 cents. I've actually picked up two of them. One was 99 cents. And I have 2 sheets of the Shrinky Dink paper left. There was, I believe, 5 sheets in here. So to me, that was definitely worth 75 cents and 99 cents. They have lots of ideas in here. And I did end up doing this little cat for one of the things. But everything else I have freehanded, and then I posted it on one of the Facebook groups that I follow, and somebody mentioned using stamps and then coloring that in. So I was like, okay, I'll do that. So I did another sheet. So I'm just going to show you kind of what I did today. Actually, I should have planned a little bit better. There's something to kind of lay these on so that you can see them. I'll start with these ones I did yesterday. And I just tied them together. They're just freehanded drawings, and I just tied several of them together so they can be attached to a paper clip or hung on a spine of something. I just kind of put ones together that I thought matched really well. I thought that was fun. And if I want to take them apart eventually, then I can. That's okay. No big deal. So these are the first ones that I did. And I'm pretty happy with them. I'm happier with the things that I did later, but you know, you got to start somewhere. Here's that little cat that I said that I did. And this was just like a random piece left over that I just kind of colored in and made a weird shape out of it. I did that with this too. And even the Faith one, that was just a piece that was left over. So these are the ones I did this morning. I pulled out my watercolors, and I've actually been using these watercolors. They're wonderful. It's just $5 Artist Loft from Michaels. These are such vibrant, beautiful watercolors. I've been so pleased with them. They worked out super well with what I did. I just took the sheet and I just painted a rainbow on it. I just started with pink at the top and went down. And I took my trimmer, my paper trimmer, and I cut a long strip that was 2 inches, 2.5, and 3, I believe, is what I was left with. And then I just cut each of those big strips into, I think, 3/4 of an inch. So I ended up with these little rectangles. I punched my holes. I wrote my words. I baked them. And then I went in with glitter nail polish, actually clear nail polish. I polished over the top. You have to be really careful when you do that because I messed up a couple. You have to make sure you have plenty of nail polish when you're going over this permanent marker because it will smear. And then, you know, just kind of be liberal with it. And I let that dry, and then I came back in with the glitter and I went around the edges on the words because I figured out if you cover up the words at all with the glitter, it kind of makes it hard to read. So I did that, and then I flipped it over and I did solid coats just to kind of say, okay, this is the back. You know, you made it a little bit different. So anyway, I took the glitter and added it to all these, and I'm just so pleased with how these turned out. These can hang as dangles on journals, they can be on tags, whatever. So I've got those, and these are my Faith ones. My Christian ones, pray, you know, stuff like that. And then I did creative ones, like create, and live and laugh, and those are the ones that I said already. What else did I make? Enjoy, creative, celebrate, enjoy. So lots of different words to use that can be added to all sorts of journals. And then I had extra pieces. I had the couple that I messed up, you know, that I smeared the words. I took a different kind of glitter and put it on there, gooped it on there, you know, just piled it high. And I used the same kind of glitter just to kind of make it just a shimmery mess, which is fun. And these are the tiny thin little strips that were left at the top when I cut all of the strips. So I just added the glitter to those. Anyway, I'm super happy with how those all turned out. And then the woman said something about doing the stamps, and I was like, okay, I gotta go find my stamps. So I went out there in my mess of a craft room and I found my stamps. And I cut these in squares. These big ones are 2 by 2. And I am just so happy with how these turned out. I colored them with colored pencil. I think I'm going to take and make the background, like the shiny side where it's backwards, a I'll put some sort of nail polish on there. I'm not completely done with these yet. I haven't really figured out if I want to do a solid color or just add a glitter like I did to the other ones. But these just turned out so cute. I'm so happy with them. I made them nice and colorful. If you can't tell, I love color. And these are probably just going to be left as it is because they look good on the front and the back. So these are the florals and the butterflies. I'm just so pleased with these. And like I said, I have 2 sheets left to do, and I'm not sure what I'm going to do with them. These I colored with Prismacolor colored pencils. So the first ones were with watercolors. Actually, I did the colored pencils on the very first ones, the shapes that I made. Watercolors on the ones I added glitter to, and then these are the Prismacolors again. Anyway, those are my little charms, or whatever you want to call them, dangles, whatever they are, embellishments. And this was fun. This is all the stuff that's left. When I cut out these ones, I had lots of leftovers, and that's why I wanted to make the rectangles and the squares, because, man, it was just so wasteful to do the shapes. So I took and I colored some of those in, and I left some of them as they were. And all of my holes I punched out, I saved in this little jar, and then I ended up baking them. So I have these little crumbles, these little confetti glitters, if you will. And I'm so happy with these. I think that they'll be fun in shakers, or just throw some Elmer's glue down and just let them, you know, soak in and add some texture to a page. I love texture, and I just thought those would be great to use for something. And they were super easy to make. I didn't even really worry about them overlapping. I tried to spread them out as best as I could, but really after they were done baking, I just kind of, you know, broke them apart. So that's all my Shrinky Dinks, and that's a lot of fun. And I will be making more, because it is always really addictive to get into these embellishments and stuff like that and get making them, and you want to have a stash to work with, and it's a lot of fun. I want to show you a book that I started, and this is going to be an encouragement journal. It's going to be full of scripture, encouraging scripture for me. I do mostly Christian things. I don't want to write about things that don't matter. I want to write about things that mean something to me, that I'm going to grab a book for. So these are, it's a travel guide actually for Washington, D.C. And I ripped out pages. I think I had gessoed that book just to make something out of, you know. So these are the pages that I had ripped out to give it space. So I took and hand stitched around. So this is 5 magazine pages piled on top of each other, stitched, and then I gessoed over both sides twice, so 2 layers. And then I just took my watercolors and I got started. So this is just the beginning of my background. I'm not really sure where I'm going to go next with this. I want to just build up my backgrounds almost in a journaling by 5 style, and just, you know, make it pretty cohesive throughout the book. And then I'm going to probably write my scripture out on a separate piece of paper, or maybe even print it out just so that it looks really nice. Although my penmanship is pretty good, I may go ahead and print it out with some fun fonts and then glue those on just to cover it up, you know. So I have all of these. Are 5 sheets of paper. I just love the feel of these. They're just crinkly, but they feel nice and stable because they are thick. The front and the back came from some handkerchief packages that I bought, and then everything else is the magazine pages. And these, I don't even know what they came from. Who knows? You know, I get those kind of things and I just kind of set them aside and save them for later. I'm not really sure what I'm going to do with the cover yet. I'm thinking fabric, maybe granny squares crocheted. I also have some, where are they? Hang on just a second. These are pieces that I cut from grocery bags, and I'm definitely going to be using the orange and the lime green in here to make some little tabs and stuff. So I'm thinking I want the cover to actually be like a purple. I think that'll be really pretty. Use all my secondary colors for decorating the book. Other than that, I'm not really sure what to do next. I know I just have to do the background and get it going, but we'll just see how that turns out. I'll show you as I get some more of it done. And last but not least, I wanted to just go through my glue book with you again. I worked on this for a solid, I don't know, 2 or 3 days, and it was so much fun, but I needed a break from it. That's why I got to the other stuff. But here we go. I'll just show you where I'm at.